Don't worry, I've got stuff to do. Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. Ooh. My name is Andrea Mustelier, and I won't tell you that part, but I will be leading the hymns today. Before we start our soul singing today, I invite those of you online to get a chalice or a candle you can light with us when we light our chalice. We start our service today by singing together hymns 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Please stand in body or spirit. The words will be on the screen. Okay, and now number 361. Don't sit down yet. 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Okay? And we're going to sing all 5 verses. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Woo!
Good morning. As we gather together this morning, may we learn to recognize and affirm the pieces of possibility, the bits of good that we bring. May we encourage rather than control, love rather than possess, enable rather than envy, allowing our individual gifts to weave a patchwork of peace the soft, deep blue of sensitivity and understanding, the red energy of creativity, the white heat of convictions, the risky, fragile green of new growth, the golden flashes of gratitude, the warm rose of love. Each of us is indispensable if we are to minister to a broken world and broken and wounded world. Together, in our gathered diversity, we form the whole. So be it.
Good morning. Welcome to our multi-platform space here at Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Miami, or as we affectionately call it, UU Miami. As a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association, or UUA, we bring a liberal religious voice to the great city of with feeling. Great city of Miami. Yeah, that's a little energy. I'm Jenna Way, and I'm your worship associate for today. My pronouns are she and her, and I am a cisgendered white senior woman. I'm turning 65 on my next birthday, so I guess I've got to start claiming that. And I am wearing pink, multicolored pink and black today, and up on the chancel with me is Joseph Taleda, our pianist. Derrick, who's going to be giving the service today. Wonderful. And she's not up here with me, but Andrea for leading our hymns. UU Miami is a community of brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We invite you to learn more about us. You can go to our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or our web pages, or email communications@uumiami.org for more information. And if you have attended our services for a few times, please consider becoming a member of this congregation. Talk to anybody wearing a lanyard and a name tag, and we would be happy to talk to you about membership. UU Miami wants to acknowledge that we gather on the traditional land of the Tequesta, Seminole, and Miccosukee people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it throughout the generations. May we continue to learn how to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as well. We at UU Miami invite you to think about what this acknowledgement means to you and how you might honor and activate it in your life.
Unitarian Universalism transcends creed, emphasizing instead a covenantal relationship, a shared commitment to how we treat and engage with one another. A quote from Kathy McGowan, staff of the UUA Southern Region. How we are together is the faith we live, and therefore the faith we teach to others. Because we are human, we make, break, and remake our covenants. What is important is to pay attention. Please join me now in paying attention to our covenant and reading aloud with me. The words will be on the screen. We are an open, welcoming community who embodies respect, kindness, compassion, and curiosity. We foster a safe place that invites others to express their authentic, creative selves and unique ideas. We build relationships with one another by listening deeply with understanding and respect. We make a positive difference in our community using our combined time, talents, and treasure. We are committed to embracing learning, growth, and change. It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of our services. Our chalice lighting words today come from Rebecca Parker. With the kindling of this flame, we reaffirm our commitment to accept life's gifts with grace and gratitude and to use them to bless the world in the spirit of love. We will now, oh, that's loud. Now we will share joys and sorrows that you may carry in your hearts. We affirm that as a community, we share in your sorrow and rejoice in your happiness. When you come forward to share a joy or sorrow, please say your name so that we know who you are as you share. And remember that this service is live streamed. Those of you online, please feel free to share in the chat any joy or sorrow you wish.
You're live streaming and doing the service? No, not. Oh, good. You have a...
I have a backup.
Okay. I'm Carol Klopfer. Most of you know or have at least met Bonnie Petticord-Mickus, who has shared with us that her husband passed away several months ago, and now she's coping with her own medical issues. She had big surgery down at UM a couple of weeks ago, and it's the kind of surgery that turns out great, so we're happy about that, but the recovery is weeks. I'm bringing you a message from her. Okay. She sent me this quote from Pema Chodron that I think would benefit us all. To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. Pema Chodron, thrown out of the nest. Now here's Bonnie's message to you. I asked her if she wanted to send you a message. Here it is. My deep gratitude for all the healing, thoughts, energies, prayers during my challenging times. Changes are afoot, magic is afoot, minds and hearts are opening in new ways. I hope to be back with you soon, but for today, I'm standing on the edge of this nest, trembling with excitement and hope. And Bonnie, I think you're watching the live stream. How you doing? And that's the message. Thanks.
Good morning, I'm Bob Jacober, and to me, every day I come in here, it's a celebration. Good morning as we gather here for our Sunday meetings of UU Miami Tribe. Kat gets us here with her coffee and treats bribe. We come to learn from teachers about how fast can our world change. It's good, it's bad, and often very strange. Let's meditate and calmly learn to go with the flow and help each other join with a smile and a happy tribal glow. The future comes at its very fast pace, so let's do our best and contribute to the new worldwide human race.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea Mustelier, and as a lot of you know, I am Derrick's mom, a proud mom, of course, but I'm also the famous Ray Mambo's daughter, Ray Baumel, and some of you may know that he recently was in the hospital for 5 days and came through it. It was very dicey at the first, but came through it swimmingly. This man will be 99 on the 17th of this month. Yes. And I just wanted to say, because this is joys and concerns or joys and sorrows, that the joy I feel that he came through with flying colors and is still with us and is still strong, and that I hope the genetics fall through generations. This one's coming. It's a family affair.
A family affair. If I make it up here, not one to top my family. The joy is indescribable to be here and see all of you in 3D for a change. And again, with my daughter and grandson, my wife who was in the chorus choir here, it's just so many memories. I've been part of this congregation since 1848. So I just want to see if you're paying attention. So, but again, I love you all.
It's still funny, Ray. For all the joys and sorrows spoken here today and all those still in our hearts, we pray.
These words are adapted from ones written by Erica Hewitt. The offering that we give each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this community. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. On the screen, there's a QR code, and I invite you to take out your smartphone, open the camera app, and point it at the QR code to access the UU Miami donation page. Alternatively, you can go to uumiami.org and click on the donate button. On the donation page, you have the option to make a one-time donation or sign up for recurring monthly donations to UU Miami. For those of us who are present in the sanctuary, you can also scan the QR code or put your offering in the basket that's going to be passed around. From July through September, UU Miami will split the plate with Safe Schools South Florida. Your offering today will not only benefit UU Miami, but also further Safe Schools Florida's mission to create safer schools where all students can learn and thrive, regardless of their sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, or that of their parents or guardian. This congregation is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and hope. Let us give now to sustain and strengthen this place and the work we do in the world. May we say yes to the values of our faith.
I invite you now into a time of meditation, prayer, what have you. Find a comfortable space. Feel yourself in your body. And listen to these words by Elizabeth Tarbox. Dukkha, they say. The Buddhists say, all is dukkha. It's hard to translate, they tell us. It means literally suffering, but the feeling of dukkha is closer to impermanence. The fact of impermanence is central to the Buddhist path to nirvana, enlightenment. Dukkha, all is impermanence, nothing lasts. I thought of that yesterday, watching leaves come down in a shower and the smell of the rotting ones going back into the earth, leaf to humus, back to earth, to nourish the roots of the mother tree, the crows crying as the leaves fall and their nests are exposed. Dukkha, all is impermanence. And life goes on, and people who were with us last year at this time have died. All souls pass on, all is dukkha. Nothing lasts. The path to enlightenment is understanding, accepting impermanence to the point where we no longer struggle against it. That is the way of the Buddha. But here in the West, we search for that which is permanent, even as we live with the death of all things, all people. We search for a sure footing on the path strewn with fallen leaves. We notice the buds of next year's growth, tight curled and waiting. We hold on to the things we can count on, our church, our community, our memories of those who died before us, our love and hope, and the search for certainty in a world that is dukkha. God of creation, God of today, let us find each other in a changing world. Let us experience love as something which exists, a possibility which is. Let us know that we are alive and being renewed miraculously each second, that the impermanence gives to life its freshness and surprise, that our memories of yesterday and expectations of tomorrow make now a cherished, precious, eternal moment. Let us now sit in that moment. May it be so.
Let us sing together now in the teal hymnal, hymn 1020, Wo Ya Ya. The words will be projected on the screen. Please stand in body or spirit and try to drown out the peacocks. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya 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 ya.
The Dandelion Seed by Joseph P. Anthony. It was autumn in the garden. All the flowers had died and dropped their seeds. Only one seed was left. A little dandelion seed who was afraid to let go. But the winter wind began to blow. The stronger the wind blew, the tighter the seed hung on, until it felt the wind blowing right through it. Then the seed left the garden behind. It became part of the wind and was carried away. The world was bigger than the seed ever imagined. It was also more frightening, more lonely, and more beautiful. The more the seed saw, the smaller it felt. It wondered where it belonged. The seed landed when snow began to fall. It listened in silence as peace covered it like a blanket. Finally, spring came. Sunshine warmed the air and soil, and the little seed began to grow tiny leaves and roots. Its leaves spread wide to gather the sunlight. Its roots reached deep to drink fresh rain. Soon the seed flowered into a bright, delicate dandelion it was meant to be. It shared its green leaves with deer and rabbits. It gave sweet nectar to bees and butterflies. Then, almost overnight, the life that began as one little dandelion seed ripened into many. They each became part of the wind and were carried away, all except one. "Don't be afraid," whispered the dandelion. "The wind and the sun and the rain will take care of you. Let go, and you will see. You will see."
find my world between the dying and being reborn. I see what is and I see what could be. Can't close my eyes again and go back to sleep. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. How can I change our course? Just a lonely voice. Wish I could lose myself in all the noise. But if we all would rise, a generation proud with a mighty song, we could turn this world around. So fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Ancestors all behind, and before me every child. I bring the power of a long unbroken line. So when our time is through, I wanna know, did what we came to do for the future ones. So in our darkest days, may we all be strong and give our lives so life may go on. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide.
Good morning. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Some of you may remember these words from Octavia E. Butler's Parable of the Sower from a sermon by Reverend Tom Capo a few months ago. We miss you, Reverend Tom. They are presented in the novel as one of many excerpts from a fictional sacred text entitled Earthseed, the Books of the Living. These and many other words from Earthseed are very sacred to me and really form one of the pillars of my own personal theology. But what is meant by God is change? Well, for me, it means that change is an immutable truth, perhaps the single most immutable truth of all. It takes many different forms throughout our lives and can be as bountiful a blessing as it can be a towering challenge. But it can always be counted on in the best and worst of times. We're always changing, always evolving, not just our world, but ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our spirits. We don't have a choice, really. If we stop changing, we stop living. If our cells stop breaking apart and reconstituting into something new, we die, essentially. But that's the beauty of transformation. We come apart and we put ourselves back together, better, stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than ever. Transformation is an opportunity to envision amazing new things to build out of the pieces that make us up. A time to refortify the foundations on which we build, to be sure, but also a time to imagine new ways of being and doing and grow into our greater selves. Excuse me a second, I need some water. Some of you may not know that when I first joined this congregation, we were in the midst of a transition not all that unlike the one we're navigating today in this congregation. It was 14 years ago this month, in fact, that I walked through those doors for the first time during what was a very difficult time in my life, when I was depressed, lonely, and struggling. It wasn't long before this congregation began to recognize my unique gifts and passions, some of which even I didn't know existed, like what I'm doing right now. And they empowered me to help lead the congregation through that transition and emerge a stronger, healthier community. They asked me to serve on the ministerial search committee and sent me as a delegate to General Assembly, and what followed was nothing short of a spiritual transformation that led me all the way to seminary and a Master's of Divinity. The road certainly has been muddy and rough at times. For one thing, I chose Star King School for the Ministry to pursue my theological education. And as luck would have it, just days after I received my acceptance letter, controversy erupted at our small, mighty seminary by the bay, as we call it. During the search process to find a new president of the school, there were some in the community who felt that the process had become corrupted in some way, and therefore took it upon themselves to leak dozens of pages of confidential documents to the public. These actions caused immense hurt to a great number of people, and that hurt snowballed into a series of fear-based reactions on all sides, including the school. Trust was deeply fractured, and fear and anger filled in the cracks and expanded. But I and my fellow incoming classmates stood undaunted in the face of this immense challenge. In fact, we never really even thought twice about just diving headfirst into the sort of fetid muck of a seemingly impossible moment. Our faith was certainly shaken, but it never broke, and with ferocious courage and radical compassion, we began to rebuild the trust, hope, and love of our beautiful community. They even told us, like, you guys really helped us heal. And we learned and grew so much ourselves as progressive religious leaders, thanks to the incredible challenge of that immense moment. The transition happening at UU Miami right now is significantly less sticky and hairy, thankfully. But it's no less ripe with possibility. Now more than ever, we are truly the stakeholders of this shared ministry. And now more than ever, the depth of our commitment and our passion for this church and this faith will be reflected in its growing and thriving. And there will be so very many opportunities in the coming months and years to harness those passions and deepen that commitment to build on the rock-solid foundation built by the ministry of Reverend Tom Capo, and to continue dreaming bigger. I'm willing to bet that every single person here and every single person online and every single person not here has at least one thing in their life that makes their eyes just light up, just to talk about it. I'm here to tell you that we want that from you. If that thing you love has any connection at all to this faith, and trust me when I tell you from experience, that's a pretty big umbrella. We need that from you. To paraphrase the great Howard Thurman, don't ask what this church needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what this church needs is people who have come alive. And I'm sure Mr. Thurman would also agree that the world needs this as well. The world needs a Unitarian Universalist congregation of Miami that has come alive. And even more so, the world needs a Unitarian Universalism that has come alive. That world needs us now more than ever. That world is going through a transformation of its own. The pieces seem to be scattered all over the place right now, don't they? But it's up to us to put them back together with more love, more compassion, more righteousness, and more spirit of life. We in this country have a pretty incredible foundation in spite of some of its very deep and obvious flaws. But sometimes it gets easy to forget that in these trying times. But hopefully, perhaps this past Thursday, we got a chance to remind ourselves and each other of that foundation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all know these words. Probably had to memorize them at some point in elementary school, right? But how many of us know the words that come next? That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So you see, this country's incredible foundation is built on change. The United States was founded on a moment of transformation, and mechanisms for change are built into our Constitution. Now, is that system failing us at the moment? Maybe. Maybe more than maybe. But I say to you again, quote, whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. The power is with the people, but only if we conquer our fear of transformation. Only if we can harness the power of change to help us come alive. Help this church come alive. Help Unitarian Universalism come alive. Help liberal religion come alive. I've spoken here a few times about the need for a liberal religious revival. And one of the biggest reasons is that liberal religion, much like this country, is built on change, transformation, evolution. The idea that no static religion can possibly encompass the eternal infinite of the divine. Dogma and hubris have gotten us where we are today. The world needs the intellectual and spiritual freedom and the humility and grace of a liberal religion come alive. And it starts with each of us. We are on the precipice of a seismic shift in consciousness and spirit. But then, aren't we always? Process theology teaches us that we are always in the end times, that the apocalypse is always happening, that there are infinite endings constantly giving way to new beginnings. No two moments in the history of all creation have ever been exactly the same. Are you overwhelmed yet? It's okay if you are. In fact, that's probably a reasonable response to the infinity of universal transience. God of possibility and impermanence, which encompasses and permeates all creation, including ourselves. Hear our passionate prayers and make them manifest. May we boldly live into the promise of the heritage and the future of our living tradition. May we cross great thresholds that we may dismantle illusory divisions. May we never be set in our ways or afraid of change, while still marking and holding the challenges of changes. May we see those challenges and those changes for the awesome opportunities they are. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Amen.
Please rise in body or spirit for our last hymn, number 1064 in your teal hymnals, Blue Boat Home. And don't forget to sway from side to side as we always do for this, my favorite hymn. You just have to. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my trial heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep. Drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great wind surging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the heaven I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
And now we're here for announcements and gratitudes. Thanks to all the professional and volunteer staff, our church board, our committees, Cheryl, the business manager, Hyro, who's our communication director, Kat, our Sunday service helper. Thanks for our greeter, John, Luigi, and Jane, who's running our live stream today. Joseph Teleda for accompanying our hymns and providing wonderful music. Andrea for leading us in the hymns. Appreciate that very much. And thank you to Derrick for your leadership in the service today. And finally, all of you for joining us. Thank you, Jenna. You're welcome. Please watch your weekly email letter newsletter, or visit our website for upcoming programming. We would like to let you know that lunches will not be served during the summer season. However, we will be hosting Summer Connections and Bocaditos hour after the service. We invite everyone to bring and share their favorite Bocaditos easy snacks, nauseous, sweet, and savory treats. If you would like to help or have any questions, please email Janice or Carol. Please note we are a nut-free campus. There's going to be a Social Justice Committee meeting today in the Emerson Room following Connections and Bocaditos. All are welcome. I think there's some important stuff going to be discussed. And also, we're having the Worship Committee. Their next meeting time has been changed to Monday evening, July 22nd, 6 p.m. on Zoom. Please email worship@uumiami.org if you'd like to attend or speak with Jane, Andy, or Derrick to share your interest. Next week's service on July 14th is entitled Do It Yourself or Do It Together. Derrick will be speaking on the team effort that goes into Unitarian Universalist communities and the importance of empowering the passions and talents of our community as we pursue a shared vision.
Now, our closing words come from an anonymous author. They are entitled Closing Words from the Youth. We are never complete. We are never finished. We are always yet to be. May we always allow others to be and help and enable each other to grow toward becoming all that we are capable of becoming. Amen. I invite you now to stand and greet those around you, particularly those you don't know. Let us deepen our connections in this beloved community.